Hello, Whale Fam, and welcome to an amazing exploration of the Game Disease Project with Frenetik and Bitlupa. We are super excited to have you here, and we've got some more of the team actually in the backstage area ready to support. They're going to be hanging out in our Discord stream text channel as well throughout the presentation today to provide extra context, answer questions, and really get folks excited about the game disease. So, welcome to both of you. How are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going? Good morning. Here it's morning. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I woke up like 20 minutes ago, so my brain is still starting to start. But
That's
but yeah, I'm here.
Hi,
well,
I'm Bitlupa. Also woke up. Nah, I'm just kidding. Here it's also in the morning, and we're really fine. We're really excited about this event.
fantastic. And let me pull up the website because I think that to get us started, people are probably wondering what is game disease? And it is something that we're going to need a lot of explanation about this world you've created. This is our preview, but can you tell me how you came up with this concept? What is it that we are going to be jumping into? And where did these ideas come from? Who are the creators?
Okay, so it all started like I guess 4 or 5 months ago. Um, we it was like the moment that started game disease was one of the peak heights of the NFT space. So I'm in the NFT space since early 2019. So I've seen it grown a lot since the beginning and change a lot. Yeah, that's I guess the best word. Evolve into different things, you know. So um, in that evolution, one of the things that caught my attention a lot and that really um, stuck with me and in a way like made me think a lot is like how the market started changing and what how the people started changing inside the space and in a way I mean personally myself and also the two artists in which we share the project, Milton Sanz and Oxeegeeno, are not kind of I don't know, hype artists, or we don't like uh, to hype ourselves too much or to enter that kind of mood, you know. I don't know how to explain it because, well, this is the way we like game disease is a way to explain how the hype of the NFT market and how the uh yeah how the madness and everything struck to us. Like we started to feel like things changed a lot, and we started like comparing that to a disease, you know. And I don't know, it was all pretty crazy because we both, like, the three of us um had like the same idea in the same moment. Personally, I was just feeling like a bit overwhelmed with how everything was changing um at that time because everything changed too fast too. And and yeah, I communicated with Milton, and first with Milton, I think, and we talked about this a lot. Like, yeah, man, like how everything's changing so fast, and the people and the market and everything, and and how that was affecting us. So um yeah, that was like the main the spark that lit the game disease. Like, I thought of this concept like, well, all this is kind of a game. Like I started like um taking the NFT space and the crypto art world in which we emerged like a game. And yeah, the disease is kind of what struck everyone in different aspects, you know. Like the market, the buyers, the collectors, the artists, and yeah, the game DCs are more or less archetypes and psychological I don't know, psychological archetypes that emerged, like put into extreme situations and extreme uh, personalities and everything. So it's kind of a satire of the NFT market.
For example, myself, I've been always a collector, never an artist, and I saw it from the other side of Frenetik. I've been a collector also since early 2019, and I experienced a roller coaster. I mean, of emotions because a lot of things happened in the market, and mainly what I observed as a collector. Uh, I've been also a crypto trader and a stock trader, and I understand well how the emotions in big group of people behave and how they all move together when there are like a lot of people thinking the same thing. So it really struck me and it really surprised me to see how the NFT market started behaving in the same way as the typical crypto market or the typical stock market, where big masses move to one direction and there's an opportunity on of getting in the mass and joining the wave, or not joining it and you're left behind. So it was incredible how the NFT market started being really, really a collecting of art. Myself, I'm a collector since I'm very little, since I don't know, I'm 2, 3 years old. I started collecting anything, coins, chips, whatever, cards. And I started in this world because I really liked collecting and I really liked the art behind it. So I started choosing my pieces not because of winning money, but because of choosing the exact piece that suited my collection. And it started like this, the NFT world, and started changing to a bit of a win and leave situation where most of the people didn't even like the art itself or didn't understand the concept of NFTs. They just wanted to buy something because they thought it was going to go up, and a lot of speculation started to occur, and that's what shifted a lot the market. I think a breaking point in the NFT market was in the top sale of Beeple of 69 million. I think that was a turning point where everything changed between that point because it went mainstream. Everyone knew after that point what an NFT was. So or most of the people, because it was everywhere. So that's where it attracted a lot of masses and a lot of people of the speculative side and not really understanding the art. So I think that's a bit of what if game disease is about, explaining how with real art what's going on in this movement of NFTs, that people only want to win money and only speculate, or some of them, but mainly, and they don't even care what's behind. So we're going like it's like a turning point, and also showing this with expressing all these feelings as collectors, as artists, that we really want to show.
And I think it's really awesome that we have, as you mentioned, Frenetic coming from the art side of things, and then you coming from the collector side of things. Having those two very clear viewpoints as you're building up these psychological archetypes for your game, because I personally have been in the space since very like January 2018, and like have what you're saying like really rings true, that there are these distinct personality types so that you can kind of exaggerate to the point of satire in order to illustrate some of almost the dangers of the growth in this space. It's interesting seeing this turn into a game. we have a countdown on the site. Here, we've got 3 days, 7 hours, 45 minutes, and 16 seconds. What is the countdown? What's going to happen?
Okay, so on Thursday we are there's going to be the launch of our collectibles project. Firstly, like 4 months ago, we did our first drop in which we created the concept and we made collectibles pieces that were out on one of NFT portals, Nifty Gateway. And now Game Disease has changed into a collectibles project. We like Game Disease itself. It's the concept of what we talked earlier. Like we pretend that everything we do goes changing and like adapting to the narrative of the space and also imposing a narrative, because I think that what Game Six has that's really unique is that the narrative itself of the project and the lore of the project comes from the world it is built on. So it's like a sort of critique and also like a view of what's happening. So um, that's interesting because like as we see it now, it keeps evolving. Like on the first drop, it was like a classic Nifty drop that at that moment it was something was happening there and the people were crazy about it, and so we reflected the craziness of the people about it there. Obviously ourselves like immersed into this space and acknowledging that we are too part of a part of that and making fun of ourselves too. It's not that we're making fun of the people, we're making fun of ourselves and the people too. So it's like an internal external reaction that's really nurturing and really um, fun for us to create this and to experience. And so well, on Thursday we're going out with our collectibles project. um, yeah, I mean the, the quality of the project itself like speaks for itself. um we are three artists that are into 3D art for a lot of time ago. Like we started a lot of time ago, so we have a lot of experience with it. And yeah, the quality speaks for itself. We one of the things we we focused on this collectibles project is to focus on the narrative and the lore of each of the characters uh, in the project. So make each of the characters unique and expand the frontiers of the narrative of Game Disease was like our main goal, and I think we've achieved that because all the characters are very different. I mean, we have 9 characters, and then those characters will be mixed with traits that make them really stand out in different ways, like personality wise and uh, obviously aesthetically. Uh, but yeah, all these 9 characters, it was a lot of work because as it is all in 3D, like like technically all the traits that's in one character don't really fit into other characters. So we needed to make each trait for each character uniquely. So it is the work of a basic collectible projects by 9, for example. So we've been working this for months, and we're really 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 happy with the results. And the process itself was so fun because when we started this, like I don't know, 3 months ago or something, uh, we were like, okay, like we didn't know exactly how to do this, and we learned in the process of it, and we met a lot of people that helped us, and ourselves learned a lot of new ways of working. And yeah, I guess that it's in the spirit of the project too to be something that's collective. And yeah, it's a teamwork, a really good uh, teamwork, because we work really hard, the three of us, in different ways, and how our art merged in this project and the past one is like, I don't know, I feel very proud of what we achieved and what we're achieving, because it's not easy to to like fuse with to fellow artists and obtain a style that's clearly a merge of the three, and that happened very organically and very naturally, and so the three of us are really, really, really happy with the outcome. Um, and yeah, and it's going out on Thursday, so really excited. This is last week, and we have a lot of things prepared for this week. So uh, yeah, the clock ticking and excitement. Yeah,
And so this is very, very exciting. So it's coming out Thursday, you said, and we have here on the website showing that there are 9,999 of the unique, and there are 9 total
yeah.
characters and 4 different types. So I imagine that there are varying tiers of rarity that will be expected
Yeah.
amongst these. Will the characters make a difference in the gameplay?
So yeah, like that's something we we don't want to reveal yet, but it obviously, like, game disease has it in its name. Like, this will eventually turn, like, now you can enter the web page, and if you go down, you have a mini game. I don't know if you're in laptop, but there, if you stay there, it should pop up. I don't know if you need to refresh or something, but it should pop up mini game there.
Do I have
um
to connect my wallet for it to pop up?
no, no,
No.
no, no. But perhaps for reasons that yeah, I don't know, that there should be a mini game.
Okay.
um look for it,
Yeah.
or if you look on stream or whatever. But yeah, like, we're already, like, experimenting with creating, like, games inside the narrative of the NFT space, and that's what we want to do. Like, we're constantly are, like, thinking about the gamification of this and making games out of it. Not classical games. That's one thing that we really don't want to fall into. uh of course, we like, the three of us are gamers, so the three of us, like, love games and know like, have the know-how of different type of games. But we really want to create something new, so we're, like, in that process of getting all the information and all the uh, all the experience and what works with the NFT world. But yeah, like, definitely this collectible projects will later turn, and it is already a game. But
we
yeah,
are constantly experimenting, as Frenetic said, in our Discord with our community, doing a lot of different games. And first, we're trying, now that we are really concentrated in making the best out of the drop on Thursday. We're making, like, social games. I don't know if you saw Squid Game, the series, but it's like, sometimes we're making easy games so that anyone can play, and anyone can win. So we really want. There's the game. Look, that's a mini game. If you go over there, you have a chance of winning. If you are in the top one, you can win one collectible, and second and third place are gonna be whitelist for them. So that's what Frenetic, I think, was saying. Like, we are really experimenting, and as it is in the game disease is a game and will also be a game, and we're gonna get over there soon. But I think a lot of news after the drop will happen, and people are really gonna be happy.
All right. And so to get a little bit more information, because you said that for those who are getting first place in the game, they get a game disease collectible. Second and third place get whitelisted for the pre-sale. What do people need to do if they find themselves in these places? Like, I see that we put our name and our email address and we click play,
Yeah.
but do they need to follow up in your Discord? Will they be contacted via email? How will that work
they, they
logistically?
will be contacted by their email, so it's important to really put a real email. And although it doesn't let you put any mail, it doesn't let you put if it's not a real email, but I mean, it has to be your mail because you have to afterwards answer back. And it is also important if you put in your name, if you are in our Discord, it's not necessary you have to be in our Discord, but if you are, it's better also to put your Discord name, so it's easier for us to contact you if it's only the mail option.
Right? Perfect. And actually, to follow that up, I know that in addition to the contest that you are running in your Discord, the whale community has rolled out a game disease channel here on our server as well. And Justin is helping manage that because there are going to be some giveaways for more whitelist positions in the whale community, running smaller versions of, or I guess shorter versions of the same activation that you're running in your server, where people are getting, the first, second, third, 3 different time blocks, and we'll see the information in the game disease channel. But we should also be having, in addition to that, a giveaway for whitelist during the stream, which will be exciting. So there are many different ways for people to get involved during the whitelist. And have we already discussed once people do the whitelisting and get in, you'll be able to get in and not have to worry about the gas wars as much. But do we have the mint prices available yet, or is that something we're waiting until the launch to find out?
Yes, the mint prices are available. It's zero point 0.2 Ethereum for each collectible. And we are also giving out for the past owners of the first Genesis drop of Nifty Gateway. We're giving a free avatar of this 9,999 to each of the holders of the past drop. So there are out there 661 holders, and we're giving each of them, for every single piece they have, a free avatar. And also to those holders, we're also giving them a certain whitelist in function of the rarity of the piece they have. It depends on the rarity, the amount of pre-sale they're going to be available for them. But yes.
Oh, right, perfect. So definitely for people who were holders on Nifty Gateway, they will have additional access, and also being able to reward the past collectors by providing them with one of these new avatar assets. But then everybody else will be able to mint in 3 days. We'll have the whitelist happening and then the actual minting for, open game at 0.2 ETH, you said.
Yes.
And Justin's doing the whitelist giveaway here. So we'll be excited to see who gets lucky with that. Can you tell us, I know that you were going to save some of the information about, the characters and the rarities, but for the ones that we at least have available here, can you tell us,
Look,
like, who's your favorite? Where did these come from? Let's get a little bit more in depth with this. I personally like Rachel.
Rachel's great. Yeah, so we have like these. We first started thinking about like the first thing that came to us were the 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 Nifty Gateway drop. So all the characters and all the universe, it's an expansion from that. Like the Genesis drop, in a way, was like our manifestation of what we were feeling. And then after we realized what we were doing and saw what happened with the drop and saw the world we had created, it was like, okay, we need to keep like digging into this world, like creating still creating the narrative, the lore, and everything just came out so naturally. Like we started seeing the different characters and what they represented in the works and how we could uh, uh, specify the representation that we were creating. And so the species themselves are also archetypes of the NFT world. So uh, there are 4 species nowadays. And so we have the deceased that are like that are the first ones that now you're seeing. Alfred is the first deceased. If you click on Alfred,
No, no. Look, click on Alfred there.
yeah,
There.
there, you can see for the four diseases, Mimi is the second, and then we have Phil and Shusha. And so all these characters are like sub archetypes this inside the deceased. The deceased would be like they're like people, but people that lost a bit their humanity in what is like the game the game disease. The game disease would be the metaphorization of the space, or whatever game you want to put it, because it applies to any game. But yeah, each character represents like a different kind of, I wouldn't say sin, because sin is too specific, but yeah, like a different kind of craziness for the game. They're more like hopeless wanderers. They're not winners in this game. They're more like the followers, or the, how would you say, the sheep, perhaps, the ones who follow and just like are are lost in the way. So it's kind of a tragic comedy. The deceased are tragical beings. Um, but yeah, always like satirizing and with comedy, like we obviously love these characters and our ideas to make them like uh em- like to make us empathize with them, and like in their eyes you see that they're just trying to play, so in the end we're all like the same in that vibe, in that narrative. So we have the deceased, that are like the hopeless wanderers, the followers. Then we have the pumpers. That's the other another race. The pumpers would be the ones that are controlling the game, or that have the power. They're like kind of legendary beings that are like, they're definitely in the top tier part of the pyramid. uh they have been, they know how to control a game. They have lineage. They're like the more or less the Illuminati of of the game disease. So yeah, that's the baby pumper. He's like really he
I
has a
feel
naughty
like the
face.
description on those are something that I can strongly relate to some experiences I've seen on the Twitter sphere.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely,
exactly.
definitely.
This
Yeah,
is a real one
like
right here.
yeah, like all these descriptions and the lore we're creating are obviously really inspired uh in what we feel about the space and what we consume. So yeah, you like every no, I know how to say it in Spanish, but not in English. But every lookalike with with reality is not coincidence. That is not coincidence.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, yeah, the baby pumpers are the pumpers, are the ones that are controlling the this world. Then we have the rats. I'm trying to be brief. I can really like go on and speak a lot about these speeches and each character, but I don't want to get too much into it, because in the web and other experiences we're creating, you'll be able to get more into the characters. The rats are kind of like the deceased. They are a bit more, how would you say it?
They
They're
seem
like
more
more
resilient.
trashy. They're like more trashy. They like they would do anything to survive. So they're a bit they're a bit higher in the, not in their way of living, but in their way of, in the social pyramid. They're a bit higher than the deceased, because they literally would do anything just to survive. So their methods are much more brute and much more fierce. And so, and yeah, they work together to obtain like this kind of but they have no problem in uh uh I don't know,
Instead, yeah,
backstabbing their neighbors, like
The
they're really,
short-sighted instant flipper of Richie here is
yeah.
we've seen that.
Exactly. um So yeah, like they just want to go up in the social pyramid, and they would do anything. So uh yeah, you have to be careful with the rats. There are a lot of rats out there. And then finally we have the hype boys. The hype boys is the rarest of the species. uh I don't want to get too much into detail because that will be revealed in the drop. And when you see the hype boys, you realize, like, we already have like an insight of what the hype boys look like in the nifty drop. We made like the first hype boy. That's the second in the second row.
Let me scroll
The,
down
the
here.
second row, second column there. Um, that's like the first insight of what a hype boy looks like. Uh, the Perhaps that hypo itself is not fully turned, but the hypo is like a deceased that really lost his or its humanity and turned into the game. Like the hypo is the pure representation and rawness uh of the game itself, inside and manifested in the character. So it's kind of like a superpower because they just don't care about anything because they're not human anymore, and they're not in the same scale uh as everything else. Like they have superpower, and they have like uh yeah, it's just fierce. It's just ferocity, and bestiality, like in its purest form. So yeah, that's kind of funny because the deceased seem like they're like the lowest of the species, or like, yeah, they're the those hopeless wanderers that are just like lost in the space, but they can turn into hype boys. And when they turn into hype boys, there's no turning back. I mean, uh, they just become like uh, the ultimate form. So yeah, those are the four species that we have created, and that we're showing in this particular collection. Obviously, this is uh, we already have things to expand more about this, but yeah, this is what we're giving this Thursday.
Nice. And this is really interesting 'cause as you're describing these different archetypes and the different characters, it kind of makes me reflect on the years in the space and how I feel like we might potentially have the opportunity for hybrids at some point. I don't know if that's something you all have thought about, but
Yep.
I've seen some that I'm like, maybe they're both or neither.
Maybe they're pumpers, but rat pumpers, and maybe they're deceased rats. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Interesting.
something that we have in mind, but I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, we'll not spoil it. I can definitely appreciate what you've built so far, though, and where you're going, because this definitely has a lot of satiric relevance to the space, which is really fun.
Yeah,
So
it's always fun to make fun of ourselves.
nice. So we have a roadmap too. I don't know if you want to walk us through the plans for the project. You've gone over a lot of what you're doing, but you have a roadmap, and you also have this don't click, which that's obviously the first thing that I've done. Um, and I'm not sorry for that, but I
Yeah.
think it's one of
At
the
first,
website changes.
because at first we were like, okay, let's just like make fun of the roadmap, and let's just like, because there are a lot of projects like we made fun of everything, and there are a lot of projects out there that are really like, they're not for the long term, just simply by looking at them. And they have all these like complex roadmaps and everything, and promise and false promises. And it's like, just we don't want to fall into that. It's really obvious. We like all the three of us artists are like in the space for a long time, and uh we have a name in the space and everything. And like the quality of the art itself, as I said earlier, speaks for itself. So we wanted to make like fun of the roadmap, because it's obvious that we're going to keep creating, because this is something we love. And like, obviously we're doing it for the people, but most of it all too for ourselves, because we love it. And but then we were like, oh no, okay, like we need to we need to tell a bit about what we're going to follow up, because I mean, it's all not just joke. This is a real project, and people are going to invest in this, and obviously, we want everyone to know what we are going to be involved in. So, yeah, I don't know, Lupa, if you want to continue
Yeah,
with the
like
roadmap.
yeah. Like we, as Frenetic said, we know what's really happening in the space, and we sort of turn game disease into collectible because we know what's happening in the space about collectibles, pump and dump, that projects just come out of nowhere. They just do a money grab where they grab the funds of the people and then disappear, and the project or now pumps because everything's pumping. But I mean, in not even 1 year, because 1 year is like 10 years in the NFT space. So, like in 6 months, those projects are probably gonna worth nothing because they have not really real plans for the future. And one of the questions of the people that I'm seeing is zero point 0.2 isn't cheap. What's the plan for all the money that you're getting? So here is a bit of an insight for what we are getting. We really want to put everything in for the future of this, and we're doing this for the community. We really want to stick out as a collectible project and really do something that changes and becomes a turning point. We really want to get deep in doing a game. We really want to get deep in making these characters come to life, real have influence in this world we're creating. We really want that, and we also want to give like rewards or outstand the holders, because we know that we want our people really to love what they are buying, not just buying for winning money, but buying because they love the art we do and the artists do, and that they really love and understand the project that is about to evolve. They're in the beginning of something that they I know that nobody really knows what's going to happen. Like, they're probably going to expect a simple game or a play to earn. No, it's going to be a turning point, I think. So we are thinking, and we're really concentrating on this Thursday, but after Thursday, it starts the future plan of this project. So I love to see all the people show up, and I love to see what they're gonna think about this.
Yeah, and about the pricing, I want to say also that this clearly is I mean, there's people that perhaps look at the collectible projects more like in the in I don't know if a superficial way or whatever, but this clearly has uh, the quality for it to be something that stands out, and we want to put it in that place, you know, like, and we insist with that because we don't want to make this for like for the quick flip or whatever. Like, we want to really create a strong community and a strong sense of value here, because the value is in this project, and so like that's something we really want to concentrate with. Obviously there are other stuff, like we spoke a lot with a lot of people that are like that analyze drops and everything, and lower values like attracts more bots too. So there we're making everything possible to make this, like, including the whitelist we are creating now, is to create like real collectors, because nowadays, like with all the hype that's around everything, um everything is too volatile, and it's too there's there's not a sense of real realness in a lot of projects, and we don't want to fall into that, and we're very careful in this and planning it a lot, because we want to be in a spot in which we really uh care about our collectors and the community care about us, and that's what we want to create here. So that's another point for the one that was asking about the pricing. I just wanted to stand out.
And I think that's a very, very good point. Obviously, the work that your artists have put in to create each of these avatars, like, yes, there's some, generation that happens for putting all almost 10,000 together, but you had to craft each individual trait because you can't put trait X on character Y, like they won't fit. So, like, the work that has gone into this, just to start, like, we can clearly see how committed the team is, and seeing the fact that you are rewarding holders for the Nifty Gateway drop, something that people had bought into that drop, I would assume, because they were excited about the art in the first place. They weren't looking for and had no idea that this was going to be something that was coming out and they would get extra rewards for holding. They simply bought because they were excited about it. So, there are a lot of benefits to buying into projects that you are legitimately excited about, instead of, you know, just trying to happen and, be one of the Ronnie Rat flipping everything,
Exactly.
'cause then you're able to reap the benefits of being a loyal collector. So it's fun that you've built that mechanism into the roadmap itself.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something that we're really, really uh, focusing on, because yeah, it nowadays it's very, very dangerous. Like as I said earlier, there are a lot of bots. There are a lot of people flipping instantly. We don't want to create that, and we have a lot of lawyer collectors, and that community is growing very organically. We're also focusing in nuts, like there are a lot of projects that really like their projects and their Discord with bots and everything, and like everything that's happening in game disease until now, it's truly organic, and we want to really keep it that way and let the disease spread. Like so uh we're in that moment, and we're really, really happy and really proud of how everything is, because at first you're like it's not easy to fall into this, because like you see all the like the easy path on I don't know if the easy path, but yeah, like the whole all these discords with a lot of people that that are not real people, are not really into the project. uh, but we really have committed ourselves into this, and we really have put a lot of love and passion into the work. So uh yeah, that's what happens when you put a lot of love into something, too, like the people start feeling it, and it organically grows. So yeah, we're really, really happy on how things are turning out now.
Those are definitely, like, it's as you mentioned, the bots and the flippers, something that we've seen in the space, and I think that probably being artists and fellow collectors, you feel the pain here, is that with the pumping of projects, like, you have a low mint price to start, people run in, they snatch them up, and they immediately try to flip. And not only does it hurt the market liquidity because they're pricing out the legitimate collectors, but the people who would be your collector base miss that opportunity to get in because, like, they immediately get priced out by people that are only searching for profits. And that's
Exactly.
something, like, I've,
Totally.
as a collector, like, experienced this, where I'm like, oh, I wanted to get in, but I'm not doing the secondary market at these prices. Like, it hurts.
Yeah, yeah, it really hurt that, and we are seeing a lot of good projects that are being hurt because of that too. Like really good artists and really good projects that are getting hurt by by this. So luckily we are learning about all this, and we are really in contact with people that are studying the market and everything, and so uh, we really trust what we're doing here. So yeah, that's that. There's the Discord.
Yes, there's the Discord. I like the button that you can press when you exit to Discord. And this is the prelude to the game, the description of what's happening. Is that correct?
Yeah, there are obviously everything we do has like from the past drop till now. We love creating hidden things. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd like to say. And if we can move on.
We will not highlight all the letters. It's fun. All right, so we have the who we are, which we covered a bit earlier, but I like that it's on your page very clearly, so that way there is that sense of responsibility and the social reputation tied to the project.
Yeah, that's really something that's not minor, because us three like really have characteristic styles and really like step strongly into what we create and everything. And so at first we were like, I personally, this is my experience, I feared a bit like tying myself up uh too much to this project, because I knew the power and of this aesthetic and the power of this project. And it was like, oh, okay, but my art and myself, like I wanted to be separate. But then it was like, okay, uh I can't really separate myself too much from this, or my art from this, because it's really inside this already. It's like a fusion, as I said earlier. Uh, so yeah, like we want to put our and we are putting like what we do also as a uh, not as proof, but yeah, you can say a proof of what we did and what we've been doing all these years. So uh I guess that's something that that's really important nowadays too, because uh, you know uh, it's more like a signature. It's a signature of us three, uh, and yeah.
This is fabulous. I know we're getting close to the hour mark, which we had scheduled this interview for. So, for the next couple of minutes, I want to make sure that we haven't missed anything that your team was very excited to share with the community, or any points that we need to reiterate. And I'm going to open that up to you guys to let us know what we need to do next.
One of the questions was if the existing NFT drop has a place in the future games. As a point in the roadmap is that holders will have rewards and will have benefits. This includes, of course, for the holders of the first drop, as they are experimenting right now, that they're getting a free avatar. And of course, it will have an implementation in the future games, the Genesis pieces. They will not be left behind. That's really important to highlight, because a lot of people also are speculating, well, now that these Genesis pieces give us a free avatar, what will happen with them in the future? I mean, every single piece you have of the Game Disease collection, is it the Genesis drop or the drop of Thursday? All of the pieces will have rewards and will have a participation in the future of Game Disease.
That is very exciting to know that the future is still holding many surprises for those who will be loyal to the project. We have a reminder that people should be playing this game. And is there a deadline, I guess, for when the last point is they can qualify for the whitelist? I'm seeing in your Discord, as well as our Discord, that we'll have, the competitions. It says open till 10:26, so that's tomorrow. But is there a specific time?
Yes,
Does the game itself close, or is it just the whitelisting ability?
we aren't gonna close the game because there are a lot of players actually in the Discord that say they love the game. They just play for a hobby. So we probably are gonna move it to a separate page, the game itself, to make it a better flow in the whole web page for the drop, to make it as smooth as possible. But the deadline is the 26th of October at 23 hours and 59 minutes. I mean, you have time till the last minute of the 26th of October to play and to qualify in the top three of the ranking. And then probably we're gonna flush out all the high scores and maybe do another competition for after the drop, or we're seeing what we're gonna do. But for now, yes, they have time till the 26th of October at until the last minute of that date.
And what time zone is that being counted in? The whale
Oh,
community is like the whole world, so.
okay. Let me see. I'll tell you right minute.
Perfect.
It will be at 11 p.m. EST.
All right, perfect. So EST, that is the time zone that I personally live in, so I'm very familiar with that one. That is helpful for us to know. Thank you for sharing. And with that, I would urge our community here, the whale community, and anybody who's listening in, to check out the Game Disease website. It's just thegamedisease.com, as well as their Discord. It's linked on the website. The Twitter's linked as well. I was scrolling through that a bit earlier too. And all of the relevant links are available there. So that way people can get themselves involved and start getting themselves in the game, participating for the whitelist spots, or even the Game Disease collectible. So that'll be something exciting for us to watch over the next day and a half, because we're halfway through
Yes.
the 25th, and then we have the 26th. So we have a day and a half to get our whitelist spots ready to go. All right. Well, with that, I think seeing no more questions in the chat, I will thank you all for joining us here at the Whale Community and sharing your project. This is something that I think is really exciting because we have the avatar project aspect, but also some of that like 3D traditional, more detailed artwork combined with it, and taking a whole social commentary satire approach is really fascinating, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where you all take it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you for this space and time, and yeah, we're really excited now. We hang up here and we get to work because this week is going to be insane. We're excited, but we're really focused on the work that's come. So yeah, thank you for your time and space.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you very much, and we really enjoyed it.
Thank you. We will definitely keep the activity levels up in the Game Disease channel on our server as well as yours, and look forward to the drop here, which is happening in just a couple days. I'm super excited. We're gonna scroll up real quick, like 3 days and 7 hours. We're ready to go. All right. So we will sign off for now, and we will catch you all in the Discord. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
well, community. Thank you, guys. You're awesome.